We're live for our first One Piece book club of the year, first
Oh
recording of the
man.
year.
Mhm.
We don't have another One Piece chapter for another 10 days, so why not squeeze this in?
Yeah.
It is the usual end of the year, like double week break, which sucks. We also got like the chapter on a Friday, which was weird.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, that was really weird.
I
But
guess
these chapters are fucking doozies.
yeah, I guess that's normal for the sketchy scan readers, aka 90% of the people who read the story. Maybe not 90,
Yeah.
but a large majority.
I've never read the scans.
Yes, you have. We all have at some point or another.
I always peek back in just to see like what the differences are.
You know what? I don't think I've ever read the scans.
Bradley,
You know
stay
what?
stay pure because at the end
I
of
might
One
be
Piece,
Yeah.
you'll go to heaven while we won't.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to do some housekeeping, not house cleaning. I should do some of that too. Couple of changes to the future of the podcast. One, Joe might not be able to record for a little while, so that we're gonna have to play that by ear. He's going
Yeah,
through
we'll see.
life changes. Two, Tyler might take a break from reading the manga or stop or pause or whatever. If you want to explain that, Tyler.
Yeah, I might go back to anime strict only. Like, I'm torn. I really enjoy reading the manga and everything, and I like this mystery aspect. But man, does just everything just feels so much better when I watch it. It is my preferred medium. I like the voice acting, even though I don't understand all of it, and I'm getting some. Um, I enjoy the music more so than anything. I don't know. It just feels like One Piece, you know?
And the anime is also where you started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I started with the anime. I reread some select stuff from previous chapters, and I'm not gonna say like one is better than the other because like each one has their own
Merits.
like yeah, like we have to wait 2.5 weeks for a new chapter. Meanwhile, in the anime, they do a filler recap of battles and shit, and it's like, okay, I get it. Um,
That's-
it, I,
With that said, if you ever want to take like a break and like, hey, I'm just gonna save up like half a year's worth and catch up with y'all like when stuff is high.
Yeah,
We can let
yeah.
you know when like is a good time to catch up if you want to take a break because
I'm gonna get to the end of Egghead for sure, and then we'll see how I feel if the One Piece TCG doesn't keep spoiling shit.
that would be a concern that I would have. I was like, I don't
'Cause
want
that's
to
the
I don't
thing.
want to spoil Tyler on stuff, but we'll
'Cause, like-
we'll try to play around it.
Like when I was still getting caught up on One Piece, I was doing it at my own pace. But at the time the Gear 5 chapter originally dropped, y'all were like, okay, Bradley, look, it's not mandatory. You have to catch up now or else. Y'all were
Yeah.
like, look, it's a big deal.
It was around that time.
I mean, like fucking in Japan, they just posted Gear 5
All
fucking
over.
everywhere.
Like everywhere in the city.
You can't be
Yeah.
a Japanese citizen and not know Luffy Gear 5 like form. Like you're forced
wild.
to. If we want to touch on the anime a little bit, I haven't watched the episodes in a while, but how about that new opening? God damn.
Oh my god, dude.
Looks so good.
It's beautiful. Oh my
We
god.
got manga spoilers in it, right?
yeah.
No, it doesn't have manga spoilers. But
Yeah.
it
Well,
I mean,
it does. Yeah, nothing for us.
it
but,
has
like,
spoilers for the anime viewers, but every opening has
Yeah.
that. So
No,
But
no,
let's-
no. The manga, it had stuff for manga and specifically Kuma that we have not seen yet.
I haven't seen any of that. I would assume it's just stuff from the most recent. I bet
Yeah.
it doesn't even have stuff from the most recent chapters. That'll probably be a new opening by the time they get to like where we're at now.
True.
But I love it, and like, is the new art style sort of like that, like the loose cartoony look?
I don't think so, but it is a new art style.
Okay, man, that would be interesting. Also, since we've talked about One Piece last, the One Piece was announced, which is the anime
Yeah.
remake. I am so excited for that because I just want One Piece with the pacing of a seasonal anime. That would like fix everything, and I would actually get to recommend that to people. So I got my high hopes for it. I heard some stuff about like something about them using AI and like people are not happy, but I think Oda was just
Ooh.
trolling. He was like, "Yeah, everything's made by AI," but I think he was just being a little he was just being a little dickhead, I think. So we'll have to see
Oh my
how
god.
that goes.
Dude, I feel like
just-
I've seen people speculating that Netflix might be trying to like push themselves as like the home of One Piece, especially
yeah,
for
they-
Westerners.
Yeah,
They got
it is.
Egghead as like Egghead is getting released on Netflix. Like, and they still
Oh.
have like 600 episodes between what they have in Egghead.
That's
at the
interesting,
moment.
yeah, because like they've only up like they're at Marineford as far as Netflix has access to, so that's weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that and the
One Piece,
live action
yeah.
and the new show.
I
Yeah.
mean, look, I'm all for Netflix spearheading this. It's good for them and it's good for us. So
Yeah,
It-
I'm
it
I'm
works out.
glad some companies willing to throw out the money
But-
to make me more content.
and they were able
Miller,
to
it's
look
not
at it
Steam.
and see the problem of like, hey, it's
Yeah.
impossible to watch this shit. It's so slow. Let's
Yeah.
let's spruce this up a little bit. What were you gonna say, Joe?
I was gonna make a joke about like, but Willer, Netflix isn't Steam. I mean, it's not Epic Games. I mean, because everyone fucking complains when a show goes on another platform.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
it is what it is.
But which I
right?
get.
Ooh.
But Netflix is much wider than Crunchyroll. I think. I think that's the key difference there.
I know, until
Uh,
they die in a little bit.
Yeah, true. Speaking of that, what I just said about the chapters and everything, here's a meme I just saw posted. Where is it?
Where you
we
posting
go.
this?
In Midcast chat.
Okay, this is great podcast content.
It is true. We'll post it up on screen.
It's-
We won't really.
It is. I won't. Minimal editing. It is a man
Yeah.
stepping through multiple steps from episode 500 and stepping over Wano to Egghead, and his
Yeah.
face is the Netflix logo. Anyways, let's talk about the mangoes.
Yes.
We're starting at 10.99, which is, hey, it's not March like Tyler said. He was like, we're gonna get like out of the flashback in March. I was like, no way, bro. Stop being pessimistic. We barely
Tyler
made
owes us
it.
all a pizza.
Something like that.
I already got Bradley covered, and I discovered that iFratelli's exists in Austin.
Yeah.
Oh, dope. Fratelli's is good. Okay, so I'm going to do our old recap, and then we can talk about everyone's favorite little things. So here we go.
Yes.
We got 1099. It's Kuma's rise as a tyrant, reuniting with Dragon, and meeting Vegapunk. 1100, the big old number, negotiations for the procedure, years of treatment, and the times as a warlord. You got 1101, Kuma spying on Luffy. Kuma's final year free will starts, and then Bonnie escapes her engagement, whatever the fuck that was. 1102 has the dual story of Luffy and Bonnie starting their journeys at the same time. You have Kuma's
Yes.
final act of free will, which was saving Luffy and the crew, and then Kuma's memories being erased. And then we have 1103, the most recent chapter, which is back to the present, Bonnie fighting back, and the hero arriving.
Yeah.
So, what do we got?
I give these all a solid C plus.
Really? There's
No,
there's
that's
at least like 2 S tiers in here.
no.
If I may
Oh.
show, like 1100 and 1102, those touched me very
Oh, dude.
deeply.
Oda, like, there's an evil man deep down inside there.
There always has
He,
been.
he
Ever
can come up with some diabolical shit, bro.
I just realized we should do something. Maybe I'll talk about it more at the end of the podcast. But I want to point out that last time we talked about potentially in the future we would see or wanted to see Kuma go on a rampage to earn his like kind of tyrant motif.
yeah.
Which we did see in 1100.
Yes,
Or
and
11
it's a
1099.
benevolent rampage.
Yes. And it's not like it's not bad. Does that make sense? Like if you were to as an outsider see this, you would assume this man is fucking
It's
destroying
scary.
the world.
He's blowing up like the kingdom with giant bubbles, so it is
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah. So I think that's good. The other one we mentioned was seeing Kuma
As a warlord.
on as a warlord. On
and
the
I
flip side of
said
everything.
it wouldn't happen, and it totally happened actually.
Yeah. I was like we gotta get one of those because that's an interesting way of looking at things. I do think that some of its thoughts were a little bit, I think, lower key than I would have liked during those moments.
How so?
Uh,
Like his thoughts were?
Yeah, they're very simple. Like they're very much like, oh, you're not strong enough yet. You have to go. I don't know. I was expecting a little bit more, or like maybe another like scene or two to extend those other scenes. I guess not just like kind of like literally Kuma in the same place and seeing thought bubbles instead. If that makes sense.
Are you referring to like when he's in Thriller Bark?
When he's in like Thriller Bark, or when he's in like Sabaody, like in Sabaody, we just see him like push him away, and like just him thinking like, don't worry, y'all are gonna be fine. And that's
See,
it.
I didn't get that because as he's like saving Luffy, the
Yeah.
big new context of that scene is him saying, "This is my final act of like freedom."
Yeah.
And
No, I
I'm-
get that.
And like I'm betting the whole future into you is a lot more severe than just like you're not strong enough, be safe. It's like you're getting to see
Yeah.
how much Kuma like this isn't just Kuma saving the Straw Hats. This is Kuma's final act. And I think
Yeah.
recontextualizing that with the speech bubbles on that left page that Joe has pulled up, I think
Oh,
is,
sorry.
is really good.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
this was, I was saying like 1102 is one of my favorite chapters. This shit killed me.
Mhm.
I thought it was really good, and I also liked, I also liked in Thriller Bark where he makes it clear that like if Zoro didn't take the bubble, it would have gone back to Kuma, which is kind of what we said
Yeah.
the last time when that part was revealed. And then so it's just interesting that he was always going to kind of bail them out in some way, but I think seeing that Zoro is so reliable kind of eased his mind a little bit.
So in these scenes, so like Kuma gets the Thriller Bark, right?
Mhm.
Do you think Kuma was gonna kill Luffy or just or whatever before Zoro did that, or do you think he had other motives in mind?
I think he wouldn't. I think he was hoping
Yeah,
Zoro would. Like he
like-
was.
See that, and that's the thing. Like, I really wish I knew what his plan was with Luffy. Like, post that, like, just see, like, it's like I'm gonna grab him and like send him to Dragon, say I got ambushed, or like, if he had some other plan, or if he was actually gonna be like, well, I gotta keep doing it. I don't tell Dragons I'm sorry with a postcard later.
If I had
but-
to guess, like
yeah.
I don't think he had a like. He was gonna show up and do his mission, and he was kind of gonna play it by ear because we did see
Yeah.
like he was a diligent warlord for those years to make sure
Mhm.
Bonnie's treatment went all right.
Yeah.
So I think he might have done it, but also like the fact he was Dragon's son, maybe it was just never
Mhm.
going to happen. Period. So
I also like all of the like interactions we get to see from everyone reading Luffy and Bonnie and everything. Like we get Sabo and Dragon.
it's some good fan service, and also
Yeah.
like
We
it's
get to-
nice to see everyone what they were doing at that time, like Ace and Jinbei hanging out
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Obligatory. We gotta put Ace in the Arc to sell some stuff and
Yeah,
give him a
boy.
new costume.
It's not obligatory. He was an important person who was relevant.
It's true. So, I wonder who that other warlord was that got that Ace killed or like beat up.
Are we
Wait, I was
ever?
somewhere in that too.
Are we ever going to see like what the warlord system was like before this current batch? Like this seems
It
like
was
a
because
weird gap.
The warlord was Luffy's mom.
Crocodile was a warlord
Crocodile?
twice,
Wait, no, it's a different warlord. That's also Luffy's mom.
or Emu was a warlord. One of the two.
And
Yeah.
they got killed.
Yep. Because it's like, which is crazy because when Crocodile got beat, I don't know how like if this diminishes the severity of that getting beat now, because I always assumed like the 7 that we had were always that 7, right? So like
Trying to. What
Luffy-
page did they talk about Ace doing that?
it's I think it's in, it might be 1099 or 1011.
Oh, well.
It might not be in this batch of chapters. It
I-
might be
Because I don't fully remember
because it's when they're
Oh,
doing
man.
the
the negotiations. Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe.
It's right. Let's see. I think it's here. No, this is when they get introduced.
Anyways,
And
we
then-
can't. Let's
yeah.
not spend too much time on it. We'll.
I will find it. But yeah,
if
go ahead.
if you find it, shout us out. Bradley, let's jump over to you. Do you have any like highlights of this stretch?
Oh.
Yeah, I want to talk about the scene where
Mhm.
Kuma is making the deal with Saturn.
Yes.
Oh well, I just found it, so good news.
Good news. Because, like, number one, this is one of those moments where you're like, okay, these are just like the most evil fucking fuckers.
Yeah,
ever.
Mhm.
yeah.
There
was a point in time where I was like, how evil are they? No, they're omega
Yeah,
evil.
I was like, what if like secretly they have a benevolent objective?
Nah.
Now I'm like,
Nah,
oh,
man.
Now here's what I'm wondering though: is what's funny is right before this starts, Vegapunk agrees to help Kuma, and Kuma's like, I would make a deal with the devil himself to
Mhm.
save this girl, and immediately
Yeah.
after, guess who shows up?
Hey.
Yeah.
And like, we still don't know what they are. Like, what if they
No.
are just straight up demons, bro?
I think they're straight up like
Aliens.
devils, like actual devils.
Yeah.
In the sense that like maybe these are maybe like there was a devil race in the ancient kingdom and like devil fruits, gods, all that stuff. There's something going on there. They're not.
So-
These guys are not human.
So speaking of, here's the panel. A rookie named Ace recently knocked out one of the 7, and
Mhm.
we have been searching for a replacement, and that's it. That's all we get.
I
the
think-
carding.
To
Yeah.
compare this to Luffy, I think Ace was probably a higher like priority. Like he was a hotter shot than Ace was. Sorry,
Who, Luffy?
Ace was a hotter shot than Luffy was.
Well,
So,
yeah, he was fired.
I think Luffy doing it more like was a more of an upset because it's like more of an underdog story.
That's true.
when
They
Luffy
probably
does it.
also knew that he was Roger's son.
They didn't. Did they?
Mm.
When did they find out? I wonder.
Yeah, I don't
That-
remember that.
We don't. I don't think we have a timeline for that.
Yeah.
So
Maybe it's like as he's getting to writing, they're like that motherfucker.
looks
Hold on,
familiar.
let's trace his lineage. Where did he come from?
Where'd
And
he go?
so it's probably a bigger upset when Luffy does it. And I think didn't they offer a warlord position to Ace? I vaguely remember that. So
Maybe.
maybe we could be making up lore. So,
Yeah. What's in
It's
our
always
lore
possible.
heads? Let me bring up the search.
Any other highlights of that negotiation scene? There's one for me is like the recontextualization that it's like we can't really afford this treatment very easily when he's the one that made it happen by experimenting on Ginny. So it's
Yeah.
like he created the problem that he is selling to Kuma, which just makes it even more despicable.
He's actual
know, dude.
capitalism. He's actually NFTs.
Oh my
Sure.
god. But here's what's interesting, right? Is so Saturn gives 3 conditions and makes one concession. And these
Yeah.
conditions are fucked up. But for each condition, he gives some kind of practical reason that you can understand why he might make that condition.
They are
aside
good at
from-
that, yeah.
Yeah.
like he has some excuse to make that condition, like something practical he gets out of it. And the one concession he gives to Kuma is, Kuma's like, okay, well, the whole reason you're separating us is because you don't want us to be together and me go off the rails or whatever. So if it doesn't matter where she is, why can't she just live at the church? And Saturn concedes. He's like, okay, that's fine. And I wondered why he conceded at all, because if he just said no, fuck you, there's nothing they really could have done about it. And so I wonder, does he care about keeping up some image of there's a reason I make the decisions I do? Like,
Ooh.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Man, but like
But it's also order, right? It's
Yeah.
manipulating it to the idea of like, I gave something up, no matter how minor it is, because in the long run, as soon as Kuma flips over, we can just have the girl killed,
Yeah.
regardless. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where she is. We're gonna have her under surveillance. So like, I will
That's-
give this to him.
that's the main thing. He knew that he
Yeah.
could send a CP8,
all right.
I think it was, agent to go watch
Yeah.
over her. So it's like,
And the more
I'll still have a
compliant-
vice, yeah.
Yeah. The more compliant that he can make Kuma, the easier this whole thing is going to be.
But
So it's yeah.
I like what you're saying about them like justifying their actions. He's even justifying Nabani in the latest chapter. It's like, and put yourself in my shoes. Like, would you care about
Yeah.
insects? Which is like the most cartoonishly evil thing. But then it's like, but maybe for these people, like they genuinely are like not human and viewing us
Yeah.
like they don't have that level of empathy. And like maybe we shouldn't expect that from them if they're not human. It's like like there might be something to him like having these justifications because he truly is justified in his own mind. So we'll have to learn
And
more
dude,
about the Gorosei.
Man, when you put it that way, it makes me think like, what if he's not even being cruel, but he's just
Yeah.
being practical without a care? Because, like, I don't know,
Watch us get a Gorosei flashback, and it turns out they were the oppressed ones, and then they escaped from Mars or wherever.
The Goros say we're meant to burn.
The Gor-
Let's genocide them. You know what?
Yeah.
That one's deserved. But I think Bradley's right.
Yeah.
Like there clearly though he did create a problem and then sold the solution, and by doing so he but he's also the minister of science. Like,
True.
He's practically doing these experiments. Like he experimented on Ginny and Bonnie, but it's like clearly
Goebbels was also the Minister of Science in Nazi world, so I mean...
it's like, but I think that the point is, like, they don't see their actions as cruel, like, in a way that it's not, like, just a delusional evil person. It's like an alien would view humanity. Like, we might be on to something in that line of thinking.
Like, Saturn's he might not be cackling to himself in his room over this. He's just like, yeah, I mean, I get to do this.
That's true. One Piece villains are very prone to, like, revel in their evilness. We have not seen any of that from Saturn, for what it's worth. I mean, so
think about your dog. You think your dog's happy, and you have him, like, leashed up and everything, but he can't go outside whenever he wants, generally. So it's like... Where's the line?
Crazy that we went from one Freedom series, Attack on Titan, to One Piece.
I know.
Crazy how both of these series have the same theme, and they're going at it the complete opposite directions.
What if Japan's really suffering some oppression issues that is not getting out, and this is their way of like getting it out there to everybody?
They're exporting it to the world via.
Please help us.
Shut your dumb ass up. All right. So we got those. Tyler, do you have any favorite sections from this section? Section.
I really liked chapter 1101, where we kind of get Kuma's journey on the ocean, and we get like the nice chapter of everything he's been through.
Yeah.
And it's like paralleling, like he was like, oh, he was stalking Luffy the whole time. Kuma's just this weird stalker dude, stalking random children, you know.
Can I say Oda does not remember what young Luffy looks like. Like, he cannot draw that person anymore.
Yeah, 100%.
Who's that? Who the fuck is that?
Abs. Like, he's ripped.
He's fucking Wano built.
I saw the abs and I was like, what is this?
I think he's always had, like, he had abs back in Skypiea, but, like, young Luffy's lanky. Like, this is, like, new Luffy.
Look down here. This just looks like a profile of fucking Acer himself. Like, look at it.
To be fair, this is neat though. Like, I never expected to see 16-year-old Luffy. Like, I know it's minor, but it's like 1 year before the adventure, and I didn't think we'd get that. But to what Tyler's saying about the adventure, did you notice that everywhere Kuma's visiting in his adventure is where he ends up sending the Straw Hats? So it's like,
Yep, that's what I liked about it.
Yeah, like
I think that was.
It might not have been this chapter. It might be like in the next or whatever.
I think it's at 1099.
Hey, do y'all know what the name of the nurse was who was taking care of Bonnie?
I don't.
Alpha.
But she'll be a nice One Piece card.
Is it Khalifa?
I think
you know what? Khalifa.
She's Khalifa's mom.
No, this is literally.
No, this can't be.
This is the same timeline. Here we meet her.
Right.
That's true. That can't be. That's not true. It's within 2 years.
Close. It's Khalifa's sister. Wait for this.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or all CP agents look like that. All female CP agents.
They're just these crazy blonde bitches.
Well,
this is the chapter where we see everything.
Yeah.
There's a Gloom Kingdom. These are the fuckos.
Abdullah, that's Abdullah and Jeet from Dressrosa. I see them.
Oh yeah. This is the place where
Frankie goes.
Frankie blew up.
It's
that's
the
where Robin went.
old Vegapunk. What the fuck is up with the bridge? Do y'all remember the lore of that bridge?
Yeah, it's a bunch of prisoners building it.
But they'll be building it for centuries. They don't know what they're building it to connect.
We talked about this. I think the last one where like with the flood theory, this is the way to get from one strip of the Grand Line to the other. So
after the flood.
Yeah.
Wait, Joe. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
What if it's just a big aqueduct actually, for when the water resides, and it reveals all the land beneath?
Oh, it goes like way, but they're building it actively, so it's like.
Yeah.
Oh no, I see what you're saying. I see, like they're building it out. It's not a bridge; it's an aqueduct, and there's like a bunch of land underneath it. Maybe We don't.
That would be fun.
The only place people explore like the deep ocean is Fishman Island, and like there was the monkey guys, but I don't think they were that deep. So who knows?
Another thing I liked is we talked about at one point, how they replaced Kuma in the Revolution Army a few
Yeah.
chapters ago.
Yeah.
And we got that reveal in this chapter where they're like, "We're holding your spot until you're back," and they're like, "Nah, he can have it." Because it was we said,
I think we said like Bello Betty or someone replaced him.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's what we said.
Yeah. I think so.
Man,
Going through these pages is like
they're so dense.
one day when I eventually re-go through One Piece, Kuma is going to be one of the things that makes a reread so fucking enjoyable.
I can't wait. I was thinking like Kuma's so cold on the outside when he's in
Yeah.
Thriller Bark. So like, and then as I was rereading, like I was going through this to make like my chapter summaries, I was like looking at his dialogue versus his thought bubbles. His dialogue matches the old Kuma we would see, where he's like more reserved, especially once he becomes a
Yeah.
warlord and he doesn't have
Mhm.
Bonnie next to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, like his thought bubbles are still very much kind Kuma, so it'll be interesting to like picture what he's thinking at least in the Thriller Bar, because he's so cold and menacing. But it's also like we got to make this guy look scary right now.
Oh, dude, the first time we ever met him, I was like, I'm terrified of this dude. I don't know what he's going to do.
He's so sweet.
What I think is also funny is that like, Oda kind of like, retconned the reason why everyone is so wildly different, kind of sort of with the Buccaneer trait for Kuma, which I think is interesting.
See, but like he doesn't
but-
do that for everyone. Sometimes there's
Yeah.
like the guy who made the Mary is his name. He just has sheep's horns. That's just like whatever,
Yeah,
bro.
he's just like that, right?
He's just,
yeah.
Someone's gonna be like, oh, he's an eighth mink, and I'll be like, all right, fair enough.
Okay.
Whatever you say. But then he's like, yeah, this is a new race of people. But you know, this is foreshadowed since at least Whole Cake Island. Because she was like, I'm missing
Yeah.
3 people. One of them was a giant. One of them was a Lunarian, and one of them is
And
a
one of them's a
Buccaneer.
Buccaneer.
So
Yeah.
at least it's not like he's not like going too far off the rails.
Mhm.
True. I'll point out.
But
Like,
what
go ahead.
what about the devil? What about the devils? The Goras say, are they not a race, or does Big Mom not know that?
She doesn't know that. She.
Yeah.
bec-
How do you feel knowing that One Piece anime/manga is no better than any of the other DGen shit that I've read, where they have
It's true.
a 10-year-old in the
Yeah.
body of a 30-year-old?
That's an alternate future version of herself, so therefore it's only 20% creepy. Okay, wait, Joe, go back to that
Uh-huh.
page. That's the page. Wait, but enough about your we talked about Bonnie's ass shots. This page broke my brain.
This is crazy.
It's so good. Like you have the intercutting, like from the top right of the page. We're looking at chapter 111 or 1100.
1100.
Kuma and Bonnie going through their 2 surgeries and just the size, like their size differences. You got them interacting, you got them sailing out, but then Kuma comes back. Bonnie's eating pizza. We like see why she's such a glutton and why she loves pizza so much. It's like some of her best memories is eating pizza with the crew. Interesting, in the top left, we see what is like not Shaka, but like kind of like the beginnings of Vegapunk's idea. He even mentions that at some point in these chapters, like, I need 6 of me, specifically.
Yeah.
But then you get like Kizaru, Sentomaru, and Vegapunk eating the pizza and then doing the Nika dance. Those 3 people doing the Nika dance broke my brain. It
I
was
know.
never in the realm of possibility
Yeah.
that these people would ever be remotely tied to like such a beautiful freedom thing.
I highly believe Sentomaru, like, because we've had foreshadowing of Sentomaru changing sides. They're all like almost the entire story.
He has
It's just this random samurai guy just shows up, sumo guy shows up, and he's like, "Oh, you're bad."
he has this arc. Like he helped, like he saved the Straw Hats so they could escape.
Like that's why I'm like, yeah, him doing the Nika dance, like he Sentomaru has morals, you know.
But like so does Kizaru. But like he doesn't follow them and like
Why doesn't he follow that? Like we're getting Kizaru backstory, but what does it mean?
Exactly.
You're getting like side Kizaru, like you're getting Kizaru development, like tangentially through other people, which is
Well-
wild.
Well,
as
we
well.
do that. We do that with like Roger. We do that with Shanks. Like that's an Oda
Yeah.
classic.
This is
Yeah.
2 Admiral backstories now. The only one we haven't really got yet is
Sakazuki
And
Yeah.
Fujitora. Fujitora said
and
like,
Fujitora.
the way he explained like him gouging out his eyes. I want to see that at some point.
Dude
We're
has seen some shit.
we're definitely seeing Sakazuki, and like he's such a villain right now. It's especially to my current life in the card game. So it's like I want a justification for him giving me so much woes.
Yeah,
Um,
this bitch. I like
Alpha.
this. This might be just Oda same girlisms. It's like, oh, I need a.
wait.
I'm waiting.
This is Alpha.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is actually Khalifa because she got demoted after Bonnie escaped, and that's why she's CP9.
She wasn't
CP9 is
promoted.
higher. So
She
it
wasn't
goes
promoted.
1 to 9, then 0. So like she
Right.
got
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, and she would have gotten promoted. Also, at this point in time, Khalifa and the rest of CP9 are infiltrating Water 7.
oh, that's a
as
great. She's her sister.
shipwrights.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's
you're
gotta
right.
be like a sister or something.
Yeah.
Or her name is Alpha, which is like a code because she was the first clone of
Ah.
Khalifa.
Oh,
All females in Cypherpole are clones.
There you go.
that's hot. I like
Is
that.
there another? There's Stussy.
Yeah, who's a clone?
Yeah.
Well, that's straight up.
And we know that's a clone.
Unironically, the only clone we know of, for real. Couple of
But
other
like,
things.
this is the same look that she gives in everything. Like, it's the same facial expressions.
No, Khalifa
like-
never looks that cruel. Khalifa is actually kind of an airhead.
Look, and she's just using soap bubbles.
I just want to say, shout out to Nico Robin in the cowboy hat
Woo!
making a return.
Miss all
I know, I
Sunday,
saw
baby.
that. I was like, I haven't seen her in that outfit in so long.
I would have
Oh, this-
remembered. I like the scene of Alpha running in the water, looking like a crazy demon, and then she gets
Yes.
Nika punched.
But
Yeah.
by the way, we gotta talk about that punch, baby.
Woo! That's a good drawn punch. It's kind of reminiscent of how he drew fucking Bajang gun when it killed Kaido. Like,
Yeah.
it's drawn with the same shading, which is kind of interesting.
Is it the case that Bonnie's fruit technically gets weaker as she gets older because there's less possible futures to draw
That's
on?
what.
Is that
So Saturn makes it seem like
Yeah.
as you understand more about the world and yourself, the
Mm-hmm.
reality sets in, and there's less like different paths that your future can take in your own mind. I think because he makes
Mm-hmm.
it seem like it's a limitation of the user, but one that you can't escape from, like knowing reality. Which
Yeah.
is cool. That's a cool fruit.
Yeah. But I
very
think
cool
also that's something you can overcome, especially like so long as you're not like on your deathbed dying, in which case it's like I'm gonna make it.
Now,
But it's
Bradley, what if we introduce a character? Say Law. Law's the ultimate surgeon, and he like removes a little piece of Bonnie's brain, which unlocks her full
Yeah.
power through her shard, and then we have Golden Morning Bonnie,
Oh, yeah.
who can do anything. There
I
we
can
go.
choose my future. She awakens. She can choose other people's futures.
There you go.
Yeah,
Ooh,
what if?
that's badass.
What if
Well, she can
this
kinda already
Nika,
do that.
Wait, she can do that.
this
Yeah.
Nika like future is her willing like Nika powers into herself because she believes that she can do it,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
before she understands that it's actually tied to Luffy. But then through Blackbeard, she learns that she can have as many devil fruits as she wants, and then she can use any devil fruit power.
And remember in the background that devil fruits are born from desires and imagination.
Man, I need
some
the
kind of
follow
way.
up to that.
Yeah.
We need the follow up. It's been enough time, Oda. Give us.
We're still on the same island.
I
It's not
love
gonna
how
happen.
adult Bonnie is drawn in the bottom left because it's the first time she's like been in that form, and like she just
Yeah.
looks like cool and free, which
Yeah.
is very Nika like.
Mhm.
I wanted to talk about the page where Kuma loses his memories.
Mm.
That one was tough because I want to say that's 1100 at the end.
Oh, I got it right here. 1102.
There you go. Like before that, you get this page of like Kuma running, and it's kind of just like a summation of his life, and he's like, "Was I a burden to everyone around me?"
Yeah.
And Vegapunk drops the very kind, like, "Yeah, you were a burden to everyone that ever loved you because like they're gonna miss you, you big." Like he's to this point he doesn't
Your
see
death
him.
is a nuisance.
Yeah,
like that's the worst that you've done is to die.
Yeah, like he doesn't. appreciate who he is to this point. He's always been so humble. And
Yeah.
I get it, like, he was a government dog for a while. He wasn't the best revolutionary. Like, he let anger take over and became a tyrant. But, like, he's helped people at every step of that journey, so...
I also like this like religious iconography because you get like god rays, people praying, so it's very much like a martyr and a saint being made.
For real.
And
I love
that's his point.
Sentamaru there. Like,
Yeah.
know.
it's just cool. Like Kuma's so legendary. I'm gonna... it's a shame I can't go play him in Pyre Warriors 4 because he's only in 3.
God, Kuma, what a fucking G.
Yeah.
God, he's so good.
I also like how this kind of confirms that this is Bonnie. Like it's not like a weird. It's not
Yeah.
some.
It was a simpler. We were theorizing all sorts of like, this is Bonnie's clone without her memories, but it was just a simple like, fuck you. We'll do an expensive surgery, but you're gonna work for us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it works out.
That's like there were even theories where it's like they'll use her power to like find a different alternate dimension version of her that doesn't
Yeah.
have the power.
Yeah.
When in
Yeah.
reality, they went up to Vegapunk. He's like, "Oh, dude, I can do that shit in like 10 minutes."
Let me. It took a full year and
Well-
many.
Well, but he
but
knew
yeah.
how to do it.
I can start the
when,
process.
when the blockade started for Egghead, we saw a shot of a Blackbeard ship pulling up.
Yeah, we have not
And we-
had a follow up on that.
Yeah, and we thought it was going to be like long nose, whatever her name was, disguised as Bonnie,
Katarina
like, running
Devon,
around. Yeah.
because she has a mythical fox fruit that lets her transform into stuff as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah, like this, I just loved this chapter. Like, it was such a banger. And then we had like the 1100 one that was also like so emotional. So like,
I like.
it was like a sandwich of like plot chapters and like really emotional scenes.
Yeah.
I will say the most recent chapter, it's basically Bonnie fighting back and Saturn confessing to his sins. But like we mentioned, like he's not reveling in them. But the ending sequence is so hype of the most recent chapter.
Yeah.
Kuma touches down. Everyone's shooting at him. He's like running over there, tanking cannonballs, and he saves Bonnie at the last second when she gives
Oh
up.
my
Like
God.
Bonnie's like, "Fuck! At this point, I'll just die. You can't beat this."
And this
man."
is a being of pure instinct right here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were even talking like Dragon and Ivankov were even talking. It's like, where would he go if he's like going to a pure instinct location? It's like he's gonna go find his daughter. Like, how the hell does she know she's here? Is this just one of those?
Well, this
like,
is the last. This is the last place he saw her. Was on Egghead.
But he is running here with a mission. Like he knows something's up. I don't know.
Well, like if like he's checking everywhere he needs to go, and
No-
Kuma Robot probably saw Bonnie at Mary Jo, right? Because she's stuck in there.
Is he still connected to Kuma Net?
That's the question. Like we don't really know, but Bonnie was at Mary Jo, so probably saw her, and then so when he awakens somehow, which might have been through Nika or from the robot that's living in the basement of Vegapunk's
the
lab.
robot in the basement of the what? There's too many
Yeah.
things.
The real answer is he has Dad Compass.
That's
That's
what,
also true.
Genuinely,
Dad
this is one of those magic is real kind of situations where it's like fuck it. It's beautiful. It's themes. Like
Or she can block the bullets.
truth.
fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's a MGS2 moment right now.
Yeah.
And then he like rears up one of the meanest looking punches. I hope we open the next chapter. And I bet we're gonna open with a short flashback of something like a 1 page or 2, and then we're gonna get a celestial dragon level punch
And,
from
like,
Kuma.
If it is possible to meaningfully injure the Gorosei, we're about to find out. You know?
We did see him get stabbed, and then he just like reverted like the existence of that stab wound.
And it's like,
So-
see, this is like a fresh off a flashback level punch, which was like
Yeah,
the next tier attack. So like, if he can be hurt, this will hurt him.
Yeah.
You know
This
what I mean?
this is also a look of fear. Like
Yeah.
when Bonnie came up and stabbed him, he was just like, "All right,
Whatever,
whatever."
dog.
This is like a oh fuck.
I mean,
Hockey."
look at him. He's terrifying.
He's also probably just like, you're not supposed to be able to
Do
do
this,
this to
yeah.
me.
Also, don't forget Kuma has a fucking bomb in him.
Does he?
So don't forget that aspect. Yeah, like I think the Celestial Dragons mentioned it, that there's a bomb in him that they can blow up at any time.
Oh my God, he's gonna blow up. No.
He's gonna Android 16.
He's gonna-
and that's gonna be his 3-bar.
I
in
have
the
no
2D
other.
fighting
I
game.
have no other choice.
Yeah,
And then he says, "Happy birthday, Bonnie," and then dies.
true.
Fuck. I'm not ready,
So
but I need it.
sticking to this chapter, So Luffy's a shriveled up corpse
Who fed this
Yeah.
right
man?
here. Yeah, who fed this man? Who fed him?
It just shows
Who
up.
could-
Even
Who could get there quick enough, there and back again?
No,
and do it.
any ideas? Wait, are you saying
Uh,
Kizaru fed this man? No,
Yes,
no. I mean, he is sitting up here. He was
Wait,
laying
what?
down before.
Because look, we have like Sentomaru, like he's looking at them. He's on the
Holy
ground,
shit!
and then they're like, "Where are we going?" This is the panel. We get the reaction, and we just cut to Sentomaru, who's now sitting up.
Wait, cooking.
What the fuck?
Oh, dude, I'm sitting up. That would be so cool.
He's the new Straw Hat.
Let's go.
Wait, y'all. What if Sentomaru? No, not Sentomaru. What if Kizaru
So,
is the leader of Sword and nobody has found out because he's always doing things at the speed of light?
You know what? Kizaru's sword is more viable than Akainu's sword, so let's fucking do
True.
it.
Yeah, actually.
actually,
Secret. No, but I think Joe's onto something because like they made that cut to him and he's still laying
Yeah.
down, but now he's
also, he's the only probably Navy person on the island where he knows where the food is because he lived there for 2 years. With
That's a
them.
good point.
He's
No,
got
look,
he's got the kashunk noise like he's falling
Yeah.
back down.
Like,
Yeah,
what, Frankie's gonna know where the kitchen is and run off and get all the food?
Frankie's
Right.
paralyzed right now, brother.
Oh,
he's
true.
he's
Oh,
dead.
double.
yeah, and everyone's frozen but the Marines because it's obviously not like a complete AOE thing.
Yeah.
It's like
I think he
he
has to look at
focuses
you.
on-
Yeah.
yeah, he has to focus on you. So if he's not looking at Kizaru, but what's crazier is that like Luffy is obviously not affected by any of that shit. Like he's just chowing down.
I don't think he did the paralysis on Luffy because he was already down. Something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
In any case, I'm locking in the answer. Kizaru got the food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's not Kuma. Like Kuma's like, I'm also gonna repel some food to Straw Hat, even though I'm working on 1% will right now.
I stopped at Jack in the Box on the way here.
I swung by canes.
I'll
Oh.
get drive through.
Oh, y'all, we should read JoJo soon. Speaking of canes, isn't that a
Yeah,
weird
dude.
sentence?
Yeah,
The officially sponsored manga by Kane.
I love
shit.
how we get the God, what's the name of the character?
The
Adam
Guardians of the
Warlock?
Galaxy.
Yeah, the Adam Warlock.
When the anime comes out, we'll get that.
Yeah.
That's funny. That touches on all the big points that I have
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
think so.
Ni-
I can't remember anything else.
Nice
Oh,
and
you want to
lucky.
know what was fucking funny? Is one of my favorite running jokes in the entire series is every time like Luffy or any other boy sees lasers, they're like, "Oh, that's the coolest shit ever."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when they were talking about turning Kuma into a cyborg, they're like, "You're gonna be able to shoot like lasers from your eyes, and pirates are gonna think it's the craziest thing ever."
It's
true.
true. Oh, that is cute.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah. I love it.
Do you think, because the Pacifista's like laser powers are based off of Kizaru's fruit?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
oh for sure.
'Cause
Yeah,
I-
no, like Vegapunk says that. Like, do you think
Yeah.
Saturn was like, "Hey, you need to stay there so we can put lasers in them"? Do
I
you think
think-
that was his choice?
I think so, and that's like it was kind,
Mhm.
and it's oh, that's so poetic. Like that
Yeah.
order is kind of his undoing because Kizaru made a bond with the people of this
Oh.
island.
Oh,
Yeah.
the themes are coming together, baby.
You
Yeah.
know me, I'm a little slut for themes, so give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk about Vegapunk real quick. He says like, "I'm sorry, Bonnie. I'm just I'm just a helpless little scientist." It's like
You're just a little guy.
he's like, "I'm sorry, Bonnie. I'm this many." She's like, "I'm literally this many." It's just interesting, like Vegapunk's portrayal.
Mhm.
It's weird to me because like he's so complicit to so many atrocities, and it's just like, is Oda aware of the hypocrite that he's written? Like, I'm not 100% sure that he is, because Vegapunk also gets a lot of sweet scenes, like this one with Bonnie when he's saying goodbye to Kuma, and maybe it's like
That
it's just a nuanced character where it's like he is a person who's empathetic and does do good things, but his blind spot is he will do anything to progress science. I want someone to say it or allude to it in the narrative, so I know that like we're all on the same page that this
I
guy
think-
is like a mixed bag.
I think that's gonna be like the key point at like the climax of the story, because we also have Kobe who is working within the system,
Yeah.
trying to do good, and it's just like because you're doing good, even though you are helping people, you are also perpetuating like the
Yeah.
fact that like this is the side of the world that people should be on because of you, because you're doing good things, even though they are obviously oppressing people. Same with like Garp and everything. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a moment where it's just like probably Sabo or Koala says like, no, you have to like actually say like make a stand and say no.
It's weird that I could see Koala being the one for so like that's gonna be Koala's big scene in the post
Yeah. Because like think about like Koala, what that means for her.
Yeah.
Like because the fishmen helped her out, literally save her life and get
and
her
then
back
get
home,
killed.
and then get killed, because of stereotypes and like what people thought about fishmen at the time. And it's just like a very hard like you can't just go half-ass. You have to be like fully committed, right?
Full ass.
Yeah.
On that note, it's what was I gonna say? Fuck, I've completely lost it. We were talking about Vegapunk and it could be the ultimate story of like, you know, Sword was a good idea, but you guys perpetuated the system to the point where the world is now gonna get Armageddon.
Yeah.
So it's like it'll be the ultimate theme of like we were waiting for our chance to take like to turn this ship around, but it's like no, you took the ship too far, and now
Yeah.
you have to like help us fix this shit.
Yeah.
Also, Kizaru is gonna be a good guy by the end, and I think it's like
I think it's
I think we've already seen it, like according
Yeah.
to Joe, and I'm with it.
yeah, and like because I don't know, man, it makes too much sense. Like motherfucker, like who fed him? Oh, I don't fucking know, man. I'm just a little light bulb right here, just sitting down, dimming down for the night.
I too am this many.
Yeah, like because like look, he's leaning up against the wall here when he's
He's
clearly
completely
on the
down.
floor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, he
like
moved.
he is moved. Yeah, that boy
That is-
fucking moved.
This is why I like doing it. Like you miss so much. These are dense ass chapters. Like look at one page. There's like 18 speech bubbles. Like Jesus Christ. But
Oh,
that's
man.
that's all the major points. Let's wrap it up nice and early here. You know, relatively. We're like a couple minutes early.
Any thoughts? So this is what I wanted to bring up is that like we should like write down like what do we think the next batch of chapters are going to entail.
We usually talk about it. So next one's I think there's like next chapter is Kuma getting the hit back and Luffy getting up at the end of the chapter, and then like
Yeah.
3-ish chapters of like shit hitting the fan, and then like maybe the Egghead incident is like either like the big like the whatever happens that like shakes the world at the end of this is gonna either start or end like as the last chapter of like the next batch that we talk about.
So next like 5 or so
I think by next 5 we get the Egghead incident starting.
starting. Okay.
Yeah,
I think
starting or ending.
I think Luffy gets back up. I think Kuma's punch gets blocked somehow.
Could be.
Um,
he
and-
needs this.
Yeah, I hope, but I think it gets blocked. But it reveals more about how these Gorosei operate.
Yeah.
But then we get Luffy come back up and like he goes Gear 5 immediately, and then like their Bonnie and Kuma are able to see it. Kuma's got to blow up. Like I think that's what's going to happen.
Oh man,
like-
it's crazy to say like someone's gonna die in One Piece. Like how many times have we been
Yeah.
down this road?
True.
But he's
True.
But this is the beauty of Oda. The motherfucker's fooling me again. Like I'm
Yeah.
starting to believe that someone's gonna die.
Now, it might be. I think what may happen. It might be too much to stress. Kuma blows up, kills or severely injures Saturn,
Yes.
and kills Vegapunk.
Oh, that'd be sick.
And
Vegapunk dying would be based.
and the newspaper says, like ex Warlord of the Sea,
Ex tyrant.
ex Tyrant Warlord of the Sea, Kuma kills Vegapunk.
Nah.
Yeah.
It would say something like, Yonko
Luffy.
Luffy assassinates Vegapunk.
That's
Yonko
also- yeah.
Luffy corroborates with ex tyrant. There you go.
Yes.
And then
there
the
you
whole
go.
world goes, oh, what the fuck? That Straw Hat pirate took out the guy who gave us all these nice technologies.
That's not what's gonna happen, y'all. Y'all are all wrong.
All right.
What we got? What's
What's
gonna happen?
cooking? What's happening?
Bartholomew Kuma's gonna die next chapter.
God
That's
rest his
okay.
soul.
So soon.
Next chapter.
Sorry,
That's
he's gonna shut down because he's already dead.
Oh yeah, we're not. Yeah, he's not gonna like.
He's literally going to use his last Devil Fruit to send Saturn back to Mary Joy.
You can
And
send
that's
Saturn
it.
to Saturn, dude.
Yeah, he's gonna send him back to Mary Joa.
See, but I
And,
bet you know that
Then
we,
Eggheads ends.
we have that thing where hockey can repel those kinds of like crazy abilities. So I bet it's gonna be that. Or
It's
you know what? You
awakened
know what
Paw
would be
Paw Fruit.
you know what would be sick? He does it, and then another devil ring appears, and Saturn comes right back. That would be so cool, actually.
You know what?
That'd be cool.
If to add on to the theory, what if Kuma is like kind of is actually conscious now and is potentially aware of what's going on. We're jumping through a lot of hoops, but like
We got
listen to me
We're
for this.
cooking.
Yeah. He's connected to the big giant robot underneath the basement's internet and like has gotten the live feed.
Okay, we've jumped a lot of hoops. For sure.
Yeah, but anyways, what if his power can only pop people to places that he's consciously been at?
Mm-hmm.
So he had to get to Mary Joa to like get a spawn point and then pops over to Egghead so he can send the guy back, essentially.
Okay, but why send him back home? Send him to fucking the island with the fucking
Because he's
with
trying
the
to
tribalmen.
He's trying to stop things from escalating. And because if he kills him, they're gonna be chasing after Bonnie for the rest of her life, right?
They're already gonna
Like-
be chasing after Bonnie for the rest of her life. She's
I know. yeah.
She's an escaped
But-
like a slave already, and
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just think that's I think it's just how that might work. It's just like, oh god, I think it's I
Nah.
didn't unlock every part of the map.
Nah, he's going for the kill. he's
Yeah.
doing it. All right, folks, let's wrap
Into
it up
the ocean
there,
you go.
and we'll catch up. This time, maybe actually in March. Maybe.
Yes.
Tyler might be right about that one. That seems about right.
Mhm.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.